So for this, part of my video has cut off here. So I was talking about NCT. So this is part 2 of the first rant before I ended things. So NCT has gotten decent amount of support from their fangirls and whatnot, but I just don't know if they're going to reach that public recognition. Obviously, SM is going to do a lot of releases this year, I'm guessing, to, get them that right song to do something, but I don't know what's going on with that. And ending on a positive note, actually, no, before I start talking about that, and I really want to see a little bit, or at least having someone as a soloist or more soloists really getting more success in terms of just, because there are successful solos like Jiko, but they come from groups and whatnot. And then we have Taeyeon, but I miss having those really headliner solo acts, with biggest examples being Boa, Rain, Hyori, and Seven. I miss having a representative female or male solo, because right now we really only got Ailey, who was just somebody without a group and just a headliner as just a single person. So I really wanted to have someone or a few more artists or labels promoting a solo act, because we need more of that in K-pop. And it was one of the few things I'd really want for it to happen in these upcoming years. If things just stay the same, I would just want that. And then on the brighter side, there are a few groups that I really have been enjoying. I'm not completely trashing on everything that everybody's doing. I like some of the songs that these groups have released, but I just don't see a lot of originality, and that's what it puts me off from buying these things, because I like the songs, but it's like, I'm buying like a second version of a SNSD song. So one of the really newer groups that I have really caught my interest in, I think a lot of international fans, Card, which is DSP's new group, which I think they're going to be really highly successful if they're promoted really well. And I see them having a lot of support internationally, because especially on the for the Latin fans. So if you aren't familiar, there was a group called RD, which was co-ed group that was really huge back in the day, and they sold a lot of records. So a lot of I guess like Latin K-pop fans do really enjoy seeing both a female and a male type of groups, because back in the day they were really successful. Like there was like Timbiriche and all of that, but I'm not going to talk about that. But Card, I can see them getting a lot of success if BSP doesn't screw them up like they did for Rainbow and Ajax. And for girl groups, obviously G-Friend, which are basically the only girl group that have cracked within my top 10 groups, and that's mainly because of their music and their originality. And Oh My Girl are headed that way as well, because have established this Oh My Girl sound, and it's different from every other girl group. They I call it like the fairy tale type of sound. So we got that with Windy Day, Liar Liar, One Step, Two Step, and Closer. I hope Jin Young produces for them in the near future. I don't know if he's going to produce their title track. They're rumored to be coming back very soon, and I hope Jeannie, or whatever that girl's name is, sorry, but I don't know all of their names, she gets to promote with them, but whatever is best for her health. They are being original. So that they are setting like themselves apart, and that's what I like. So I still have some faith in the future, but if these newer groups are just going to be carbon copies of other ones, I'm just not going to be that much into it. But as you can see, like even though Twice has been doing that little similar thing with Girls' Generation, I've bought all of the releases. I don't think I'm going to buy Knock Knock or the Christmas edition of Twice Coaster. The songs are one of them is just milking monies from their fans, which is the Christmas edition, and Knock Knock is not the best song in the world, but I think they have a huge song stored for whenever that album is going to be released. This was just a little bit of a teaser to keep their name in the spotlight for the beginning of the year. So I think they're probably going to be around the summer or late in the summer. We're going to get that huge Twice comeback with a full-length album, and that just further establishes them as the top girl group right now. I would be really, really curious whether they might even release it around the 10th anniversary album of Girls' Generation. It would be really, really, really shady for JYP to do something like that, because it's just head to head, the queens of second generation against the new leading girl group. So I just don't want that. But if that ever happens, if both sorry, I cannot talk. If both of the albums are great, then I'm not going to complain, because I don't even care about who wins music shows or who has the most YouTube views. Whoever produces the best music is just what I want to buy. That's mainly the reason why I got into K-pop. I don't care for the photo cards. I don't care for the packaging. Well, I mean, obviously I do, but the reason why I stay, variety shows and stuff like that, that's not what got me into K-pop. What got me into K-pop, and I think a lot of the majority of the older K-pop fans, is the music. Music always comes first for me, because that's one of the things I just enjoy most about life. Music is everything. So that's why I want groups to be more original when it comes to these things. But yeah, so if you stuck through this long video, and then for boy groups, sorry, 17 is one of the few boy groups that I really gotten into. Other than that, maybe NCT, but not that much, because I can't really, really get into a group that just replaces and adds members all the time. It's just not for me. And their music is okay, but they just haven't really done anything to wow me. But I wanted to at least end that on a positive note, so that there are some groups that I really have been enjoying, that are kind of newer. And then we'll see whatever newer groups are going to debut in this year and the next one, the upcoming years. Maybe we'll get some really, really, really original things that I haven't gotten to hear this past few years. But there's also a rumor that SM is gearing up for a big group, and I don't know what that's going to do with the future of this whole debacle with who's releasing music and not and whatnot, and who's on top. And the thing is, like, I know it's really not necessary to talk about who's on top, but it kind of is important in terms of K-pop, because if your group is successful, they're going to be able to release more music. So if they're not, then you're not going to hear that much music from them. Hence why we don't hear that much music from groups like Secret, After School, and they were really big at a point in their career, and then they just faded away. So I hope this video was interesting, or you learned something from it. I really just wanted to rant and just let all my thoughts out. And yeah, so we'll see. That's mainly just the reason why, or the many reasons why I've just been less interested over time, especially this last few years, because I miss a lot of the groups that I've listened to back in the day. But you know, it's just the cycle of K-pop, and not every group can stay on top forever. But originality is something I appreciate, and it's just a heads up for the people who are expecting or wanting me to like buy all these newer releases. I'm just not going to unless the album is really good and the group is original. Other than that, I'm not going to get into newer groups. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, so if you have any opinions or any questions or any type of videos you want me to make, you can always comment down below. And just a disclaimer again, I don't hate any of these groups. I just wanted to state my opinion. So if you don't like it, go watch something else and go watch people who just say positive things about Twice, BTS, whatever group you're into. It's highly unrealistic. I hold a lot of expectations for the groups that I'm into. So for instance, if Girls' Generation releases a bad song, I'm gonna say it's a bad song. Just because they're Girls' Generation, I'm not going to say I love it. I expect from them a lot of things because of what they've done in the past and I know what they're capable of. So yeah, try to have like an open mind, because a lot of these newer K-pop fans are really, really sensitive and just irritating. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.